get it poppin' in my city, fuck you talking about. Coming around with that rah-rah, you ain't walking out. Lame ass bitch sent the text, like let's talk it out. Bitch, you a op, it really ain't shit to talk about. Thank you for joining the Powerful Indie Podcast.
No problem.
It's so good to have you on here.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No problem. Your song is so dope, by the way.
Thanks.
I had to go like it on Spotify.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us where you're from and what type of music you do.
Yep, so I'm SayNave, SayNave, hip-hop artist and producer from Philadelphia. The new single is Resume. The video should be out this week, I think. This week. That's maybe early next week, probably. We'll see what happens.
That's dope. Okay, so you from Philly like Meek Mills?
Yeah. So I was born and raised in New Jersey, but then I went to school in Delaware, and then I moved here about 8-9 years ago. So I just claim Philly because I haven't really been back to Jersey since I graduated. So so Philly all day.
Yeah. I feel that. Okay. So what do you think makes you different from the artists in your city?
Different. So I think content wise, like I love all the new stuff. I love I love trap music. I love all types of music, but I try to be more or less lyrical, or I'm really focused on content, and my content reflects my everyday life, you know what I mean? So Resume, for example, I've had to interview people for work before. I've been interviewed for jobs. So my content is pretty topical to, I often describe it as what I thought Kanye would have been when I first heard him back in the day on his first album. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like topic wise is where I try to sit, you know what I mean? Kanye now, he's Kanye now, but like topic wise, I feel like I resonate a lot with how I felt where I thought he was gonna go back in 2008 when he first came out. So that's kind of what kind of sets me apart.
Yeah. I feel like that's why I like your music so much. I've always been a Kanye fan. Well, the old Kanye. So I kind of feel what you're saying right there.
Yeah, that song, old Kanye. I was like, oh, he talking to me because I'm that guy. I like old Kanye.
Yes. I mean, he did a song with Nicki Minaj called New Body. I like that, but as I was telling someone before, you can kind of hear him running out of breath in his verse, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, his stylistically, I feel like, Dark Fantasy and Yeezus to me are really good albums, but like rapping technique and just his overall sense of comfort, like rapping just kind of went down from there. Like you said, he's out of breath. Yeah. He'll mumble and be like, oh, that's good. And I'm like, I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I couldn't pull it off. Like, you shouldn't be able to either, but
exactly.
More power to him,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He's Kanye, you know what I mean? So I can't say much, right?
I think the world kind of just overlooks anything he does because we're like, well, that's just Kanye. You know what I mean? So.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so what's one experience in life that without it, you wouldn't be the artist you are today?
Jesus, I don't even know. I think I got lucky in college to be able to be around Jazzy Jeff for a short period of time.
Oh wow!
Because one of my old artist friends, somehow, some way, linked up with him, and at the time I was only mainly producing and making beats, so I was making beats for him, and so I got to be at his house because he was living in Delaware for about a year. So I probably went to his house like 4 or 5 times, right? I mean, it was for him, but I was kind of like there. I got to learn a lot, and basically, I asked him why, because he's really good at making beats. Like he's a really, really good DJ, and and I was like, yo, why don't you sell your beats to who was hot back then? And he was like, well, I've gotten to the point I'm paraphrasing here, but where I choose to work with who I want to work with, right? And so, and I'd rather not deal with a lot of, you know, the egos and the fight and the needless like drama with, once again, paraphrasing. Because it was a long while ago when I was over there. But like, it really taught me like, yo, like, you know, be happy working with people that you trust and who you really and who you like to work with, because, you know, the music industry is very predatory. It's a very predatory nature to it. You know what I mean? So it taught me to really just be cool with working and being happy with doing what you're doing and not getting so caught up, you know, in a lot of like the nonsense, and a lot of the horse race, so to speak. You know what I mean? So being around that kind of changed my perspective, and it kind of helps me get back on track as far as like staying focused on just being happy doing what I'm doing, as opposed to trying to chase needless clout for no reason. So that was probably one of the things that's kind of helped level set me a bit. So
wow, that's dope.
Yeah, it was real. It was the best dude ever. Like he can do no wrong in my eyes. Like he let me in his house for like 4 or 5 times when I was back a few years back. I thought that was real dope. So you know.
Yeah. It's nice to meet, you know, good-hearted people in this industry, you know, especially with all the things that you hear about it. So that was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I don't like meeting famous people, or rather, I've gotten to the point where I don't even want to hear people who I really like even like interview anymore, because I'm always like heartbroken. Like, yo, it's like, oh, he's so stupid, or like, oh, he's just an awful human being. Like, oh, he's so awful.
Exactly.
Like, I would say that, right? But he was one of the few people who I've seen, and in this case, was in person, where I was like, oh, he's really cool. Like, oh snap, he's real chill to talk to. You know what I mean? Like.
Mm-hmm.
I have not been over there in years. I don't even have his number, but like, he doesn't owe me anything, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, it was so cool. Like he actually listened. I was under a different stage name at the time, and I was only I made like a beat tape. He actually listened to it and said and gave me some feedback, which is real cool. So yeah. But once again, like, super cool. Normally, I hate meeting people because I'm like, oh no, he's so awful.
I feel that. That's how it was about Nicki Minaj. You know, the whole feud with her and Cardi. I'm just like, man, why do you have to be this person? No.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, Nicki, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, like, this is not a time. You should be like really riding hard with her.
Opening,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because like, I look at it like when she got real hot, Beyonce came through and was like, yo, cosign, we out here together. And it's like, yo, I mean, yeah, Cardi aesthetically has, you know, I mean, Nicki's paved the way for a lot of her style, you know what I mean? But it's like, yo, like, Cardi now sounds different. You know, at the time, you know, she was doing what was hot, you know, but like, she's since changed, and it's like, yeah, you could have been a part of that, but it's like, all right.
Yeah. I was hurt for like a year. I didn't listen to her music for like a year. It's like, no, right? Can't even hear you right now.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so I know you said Resume, you know, was kind of inspired by the old Kanye. So is there like any other artists that you're inspired by?
It kind of ebbs and flows. So like, much of my writing, like 5-10 years ago, was like heavy Tyler the Creator. Now I know he's problematic content, so I don't fault anybody for like not getting into him, but like he's super creative as far as like style when it comes to being stylistic and album direction, especially for his first 3. So at the time, I was trying to use him for like ideas on how to kind of like craft a really conceptual album. I'm big on the Roots. I love Black Thought. Little Brother, Fonte, big on them. Slum Village. I mean, Drake. As of recently, actually, to be totally honest, I heard that song, but I can't think of the name. But I think it's Going Bad with Drake and Meek Mill, and that kind of gave me some of the like how I wanted to swag out on this track. Like hearing Drake, as far as knowing how to convey to a larger audience, is really good. You know, like how to be style, how to be stylistic and how to be kind of catchy. I use Drake a lot for that as far as inspiration. So I would say, like, when it came to this particular song, like my content can be like old Kanye, but like as far as how to come off, I draw a lot of inspiration from Drake, because I was a big early Drake had when he had that whole comeback season and his early career. So I was big on Drake, and just watching him progress and become more marketable, like that has been a big influence as far as how I do my singles, so to speak, you know.
Okay. Yeah, his evolution is great. It's definitely something to admire. So.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so like, do you ever get angry when you're creating music? Like, do you get frustrated if something doesn't come out right?
Oh yeah, I overproduce, overwrite. I like this song Resume has 2 versions, right? So I made the beat, and then I'll table ideas like on my Apple Notes. I'll write down ideas. I was like, oh, this would sound good with this song. So I wrote the song. I had the beat done, and then rewrote it, then finished it. Then when I was recording it, one of my engineers was like, "Yo, he had an idea on how to make the drums to 808s bang a bit harder." So this is actually the second version of Resume. The first version sounds close to this version, but like I will draft version 2, version 3. Like I'm constantly like going back and forth and doing things over and over again. But normally I don't get like mad about that kind of stuff. My pet peeves mostly lie with the industry itself, but like the creating process, you know, yeah, I'm always doing things over and over again, going back to it. Nothing's ever finished. You know, I have to put a hard deadline for it to actually be done.
Yeah, I can understand that. Okay, and with you having to recreate it over a lot until it, you know, fits you, what would you say is the longest time you've ever taken to finish a project?
So I was probably working on an album that before I scratched the whole thing for like 2 years, right? Oh, it's gonna be the greatest album of all time. It's gonna be so amazing, all these different parts, right? And then I just scrapped the whole thing and just did it. I just started just doing singles for a bit, and then I linked. So yeah, I think I was working on one for like a year or so, and then I just scrapped the whole thing. You know, now I'm just like, I have my songs, I'm writing them. I try to be done within like a couple weeks, and then I'll have a bank of songs, and then I'll just skinny it down. You know, it goes back and forth. This particular project has taken me like 6 months. A lot of the ideas, or like a lot of the beats, will maybe be a bit older or a bit newer. This song, for example, was done this year. It was written this year. It was made this year. But one of the songs, my EP that I'm putting out, the beat was made like a year and a half ago, but I wrote it this year. So sometimes it's like I'll find an old beat that's like, oh, this is really dope. Let me change the drums up on this real quick to make it sound more current. Or I'll have a song that I actually did write, but the beat's kind of trash. Right? I'm like, oh, this beat sucks, but I'll have a new beat. So it really just depends on you know, when beats are coming from, like where they're coming from. But yeah, mostly 6 months I can get them out. I can get a whole project done. So
okay,
it's probably too long of an answer, but
no, you're fine. We love long answers. That's okay. Okay, so what would you say is the biggest misconception about you?
So apparently I come off as arrogant, like in public, which is kind of funny. Because I'm really not. I'm really like, yeah, like it's funny because I get a lot, at least where I used to work. Oh, but I thought you were kind of like mean or kind of stuck up, right? And then you get to know me. I'm like, I'm not really. I mean, I don't think I'm stuck up, but yeah, I think I come off as arrogant to some people. been trying to figure out how to change that, but
I mean, no, to me you seem cool. You got a nice vibe. You know what I mean? I don't see arrogant at all.
Like, well, no, okay. So what it is honestly before people actually meet me, it's like in an office building, and we're just walking around, and I could actually be a little bit introverted. So like I'll walk headphones in, and I'm just walking. I'm walking, get my coffee, go back on my computer, like just like not. I'm always walking around like around with like headphones in my ears, like I guess kind of like I can't be bothered, like kind of. And then it's like, oh, but people start talking to me. It's like, oh, okay, you know. But yeah, I don't know why. It just comes off as I guess it's my demeanor before people get to talk to me. I guess I don't know.
Now I'm curious to know, what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Taurus.
Taurus. Okay. See, yeah, Taurus. I'm Capricorn, and Virgos, you know, we get like that. Everyone thinks we're mean and stubborn. We're just like, no, I'm just vibing to my music. That's all.
Right, exactly.
That's all. Okay, so we got Drake, Nicki, Meek, and Future all on the track. Who do you think got the hardest verse?
Said Drake, Nicki,
Meek, and Future. Meek Mill. Yeah.
I mean, probably Drake. I mean, because Drake has a competitive spirit, which is pretty much never matched. Like I don't think. I mean, yeah, like I mean, even if you put him and Kendrick on a song together, which we had fucking problems, right? Like no one can tell me. Like Drake was never just body on a song. Like he'll never just go out body on a song, no matter what it is. Like Kendrick and whoever else have better like overall like albums or whatever, and probably bars that can't like that better than Drake. But Drake will, if he's gonna be on a song with you, he always comes. So I'm gonna go Drake on that.
Yeah.
I with an asterisk to say I think 2008, 2010 Nicki might have given him a run for his money, like on that Monster joint.
Oh man.
Like yeah, like that might be one of the most incredible verses I ever heard in my life. For like. Now, Nicki murdered that. So I think 2010, 2012, Nicki might give him a run for his money, but I'm still saying Drake on that. Okay. I love them all, you know, but yeah,
it's hard. It's a hard decision. I feel you on that. It's hard.
Yeah, I'm going with Drake on that one.
Yeah, they should all come out with a song together for real. That'd be dope. That'd be real dope.
I mean, even like, what's that song? Like, all them songs that Drake got with Meek, I mean, every time I'm like, Drake kind of killed it.
Yeah.
Like, every time. So it's like, and then for the most, like, that new joint that Drake got with Future, I'm like, Drake kind of killed it. Even though
definitely.
But then again, that Future Drake, What Time to Be Alive, Future did kind of kill that, though, so. But.
Really? Man, I don't think nobody could kill Drake on the track. I mean, Nick, like you said, Nicki is kind of the only person that can really give him
like, I gotta compete? Okay.
Right, you know, yeah.
He'll put out a lazy ass album, but then be like, and they get a feature. You'd be like, Drake, why put the on me?
Yes.
Like he used to do it on So Far, like what's the Take Care and Nothing Was the Same. Like he was bodying them tracks on his album, but then recently it's like, yo, bro, like I'm gonna need you to put that effort again into these albums because these features are fire. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like the Ludacris problem, yo. It's Ludacris is the same thing. Back in the mid 'aughts, he would murder everybody else's track and then like give you like a album. Like, that's all right.
I love Ludacris. I'm a big fan. He's one of my favorite rappers. Now, Chicken and Beer.
Chicken and Beer was fire.
Yes.
I'm talking about after Chicken and Beer. I was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna need you to get that same Chicken and Beer.
Yeah.
Effort. It's like you're not giving me that effort, bro. But on the features, I'd be like, oh, he's incredible, you know?
Yeah, he crazy with it. He's super
crazy with it.
Mm-hmm. He fit in perfectly with this generation right now. You know what I'm saying? As far as the old Luda, you know what I mean? He would be so perfect.
Yeah, I was trying to tell this young girl, actually. My old nanny, because she's like my daughter. She's like, I guess like 18. And I had to tell her, I was like, no, yo, Luda would be fire right now. She was like, the dude in the Fast and Furious movies, and I was just like,
oh my God.
I was like, don't do him like that. Like, yo, I know he gets but don't do him like that. Like,
yeah.
Keep up. Like, there's always somebody from the yesteryear generation who would probably do really well, and this, you know, they're just not putting anything out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think Luda would do really good right now. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
that's just me.
Him and Waka Flocka. Bring Waka back.
Waka would do. I think a lot of it too is just either being tired of the industry or just not having any real drive for it. Because like you said, yeah, Waka would fit right in with this current wave. You know what I mean? It's just people like novelty, and Waka Flocka is not new anymore. So it's like, oh, he's old. Like, nah, he would do dope right now.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so do you think you can get any better as a musician? Like, is there anything you dislike about yourself as an artist?
Yeah, so I make music very systemically. Like I'm very rigid as an artist, or as a person, very schedule oriented. I'm very big on like I'm always planning something, so I'm not as free flowing as most like a lot of artists. Like, yo, let's go to the studio. We're right there, right? Like, no, I actually will write something, hear what sounds dope, chop it up, rewrite. Like, I write like maybe like a day or so, like on verses and stuff, right? And now I'll put it. I'm sure you can see here, but like I'll put it on my cheap mic first. I'll do the whole song, and then I'll put it on the good mic back. You know, like I'm very rigid, and maybe it's because lack of time. So, you know, I don't have time to be as, I guess, free flowing as I want to be. Because some artists, you know, they can just go into the booth, just spit and freestyle 1,000 words, and it'll sound hot. But yeah, so for me, I wish I was a bit more kind of free flowing as an artist, and a little less methodical with everything. So yeah, that's my answer.
Okay, no, I feel that, and I like your studio, by the way.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, so
my little homemade basement studio.
Yeah, that's dope. I'm working on one for myself, not necessarily to record music, but you know, for the podcast.
Nice.
I don't know. I guess I record music in here sometimes, but anyway. Okay, so what are your goals musically?
I mean, honestly, obviously the big goal would be get a Grammy, you know, be able to live filthily rich off of making music. But I mean, honestly, even if like I always say, if I had like if this single just had like 1 million streams, you know, or 500,000 streams, but like just like 10,000 just like solid fans, right? Yeah. Just 10,000 like solid fans, like not IG followers or what have you. Like, yo, 10,000 people who will actually ride or die for you. Like, that'd be dope. You know, you can go for that, or even if it's the last EP I do, and 10,000 people were like, no, we purchased this because it was really dope and we really enjoyed it. That would be dope. Because like, if you look at people like, let's say once again, like the Roots, right? The Roots aren't top 40 per se anymore, but like I will still go out and download their next album. I will still go out because to me, they pretty much have a more or less flawless career, you know, when it comes to like content and same thing with Kendrick, same thing with Jay-Z. Like I'll always, even if it's not even if it's like the twilight of their career, it's like, oh, they still have people who would reach out for them. So it'd be real nice to be like, yo, I have 10,000, 20,000 just solid ride or dies, you know, that will always come through. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, nothing too crazy. Everyone wants to win a Grammy, but just having 10,000 people who are like, yo, this is that guy. That'd be a real, you know, real dope.
I like that answer. I've never heard that before. It's more realistic. You know what I mean? That's something that you could achieve this year, the beginning of next year. You know what I mean? It's more obtainable. So I like that.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause everyone, like, the thing is, it's the music industry. It's if you look at like the acting industry, there's more room to have a middle class lifestyle. So, whereas music, it isn't, and it's probably because, and I keep telling people this, but it's probably because there's more regulation in the movie industry. You know, like my brother does voice acting and audiobooks. He gets paid for all that, right? Like
That's
he gets paid
dope.
for all of it. There's no I mean, he still has a main day job, but it's like he's not working for free. Like he's not getting swindled. Whereas all these producers who are doing free beats, or even if you're on BeatStars, what have you, it's like 5 beats for $25. Like what? Like it's like, you have an actual skill and talent, but there's this race to the bottom. I got sell for cheap to nothing, and like no one's really making money on the independent level. Like either making no money or all the money. Whereas in acting, it's like everyone's kind of getting paid. I do music videos. I paid for music videos. So I hired the director. The TP, everyone's getting paid. Whereas in music, it's like, it's a crapshoot. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to be a bit more realistic with goals in music. And it's like, if I just had 10,000 people, it'd be dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I never even looked at it like that. As far as either you're getting all the money or none of the money, I never thought about it like that. But that's definitely true. You know what I mean? If one person's paying you a lot of money, then everyone will. No one's going to expect to get a free verse from you. So, wow.
Right.
Okay. If you could, and look, that goes into our next question.
I know I sound pessimistic or whatever, but I've been doing it for a while, so it's like I try to keep things real, like realistic,
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh, I'm going to change the game." It's like, I mean, look, let's bring it down.
Right. I get you trying to manifest it, but let's be realistic here. I don't think that's pessimism at all.
Yeah, because you get these people, right, who get signed, and they have survivorship bias, bias, and it's like, you just follow your dreams, do whatever you want. And I'm like, hold up, you have a 401k. Do you ever say don't throw your life away? Because these are all success stories, and they're the 0.01%. You got to really try to you have to get to the 10,000 fans first before you can jump to the next. That's kind of how I'm looking at it,
I mean, if you listen to all the greats, that's exactly what they say too. First make $1,000 and then make $1,000 10 times. You know what I mean? Right. Don't just jump to trying to make $1 million. You know what I mean? So yeah, same concept. Okay, so if you could change anything about the industry, what would it be?
Also, back to what I was saying, I would add transparency and a bit of regulation. Once again, when you watch a movie, you see everyone involved. Like you'll even see like the caterers, who catered some of the film shoots sometimes in the credits. Mind you, it's a different medium, but like everyone involved is getting compensated and they're giving full credit. If you can't just be an agent, you have to get licensed to be an agent in the movie industry, in the film industry. Now, it can be argued that it might be overregulated, which, I'm sure it could be, but I guess what I'm saying is with all the bullshit and the Harvey Weinstein crap in the movie industry, there's still a bit of order. Whereas, if I could change the music industry, I would add a bit more order. I would add a bit more transparency. There needs to be a bit more. I mean, I'm not sure how that would happen, but like, and maybe because I'm a producer who wasn't getting paid for beats for a long time. You know what I mean? It's like I would add a bit more, like there should be a bit more like stringent like rules on getting compensated for music. What can make it out to a certain quality of mixing should be done to get put on iTunes or Spotify. These are just I'm just spitballing here. It doesn't have to be those things, but there's a level of transparency. People get compensated. To even get on playlists on Spotify, people want you to pay them to get on playlists, which is like what? And then those playlists have bots that are making your results look false, you know? So it's kind of like that kind of stuff needs to be, so just like this level of transparency, like the level of people trying to sell you like fake follows and stuff, like all that stuff like needs to be regulated in the music industry, or needs to be handled, so artists don't get swindled all the time, you know? That's what I would change. Some level of transparency, some level of artist protection, some degree, so that way people aren't getting shafted all the time. That's all I see is the artists getting used. The last thing I'll say on it is, it reminds me of the story of the San Francisco gold rush, right? It's like when they found gold, everyone was rushing to find gold, right? And yeah, you had some people who would find gold and get super rich, right? But you know who really got rich? The people who sold the shovels. The people who sold the shovels are who got rich. And so for everyone right now who are selling shovels, albeit broken shovels, but like they're all making money, but the artists aren't making no independent artists aren't making any real money. They're not getting any real recognition. All the people around them are profiting off of, you know, independent artists. And that's what I would change.
Okay. And that's exactly why I started this podcast for independent artists, because I feel like we don't have enough platforms. You know what I mean? We don't have enough opportunities to have interviews. You know what I mean? I've probably been asked on an interview once in the 2 years that I've been rapping. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just like we need more opportunities available for us, you know?
Yeah, 100%, which is dope. Super dope.
Definitely. Okay, so this probably isn't fair, but Moesha Martin or Fresh Prince?
That's funny because Moesha just came back and we were watching it. My wife and I were just watching Moesha. I want to say Martin. That's I feel like that's the correct choice. I think that's the correct choice. I'm going to go with Martin.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Martin. I think I'm going to go with Martin. Am I gonna go? I'm between Martin and Fresh Prince. I don't think Moesha ages too well personally. Cause like in my, that's because I just watched it. So I don't think it aged that well. But Fresh Prince to me holds up. Yes. Like hard. And Martin holds up hard to me. I'm gonna go Martin. I'm gonna go Martin.
This is weird, but I'm stuck between Moesha and Fresh Prince. Like I just
really. But now I would go Fresh Prince there. I would go Fresh Prince there. I think.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go Fresh Prince. I like Moesha. I like Moesha, but I think I have to go Fresh Prince and Martin. Yeah. I mean, they're all good choices though.
They are. It's a hard decision.
Yeah, but see, I feel like that's because I just got to see. I have to sit there and watch them again. Because I haven't seen Martin in a while. So like, yeah, I'm going with Martin. Martin, boom.
That's a hard one. I had to throw that in there. Okay, so what projects are you working on in the upcoming months? You have anything new coming out?
Yeah, so there's an EP that I'm trying to wrap up this week actually. So I'm calling it Connected. Should have Resume on there and 3 other songs. The video shoot was last weekend on Saturday. So that I got the rough cut of that. So hopefully that gets, hopefully the director finishes editing it by this week. Latest early next week. So I'll be putting that out and just straight spamming everybody's page for the video. It's pretty cool. We had a good time filming it. It was quick. Like it was a quick shoot, but it was it was pretty dope. Yeah, so those things. So the video's coming out, and then the EP is gonna come out. So, and hopefully if the EP does well, the single does well, it'll make. I can do another video. I love doing videos. Like I love that whole music video thing. Like, it makes you feel like the coolest person in the world. I've been fortunate enough to make 3 like professional grade video shoots in my life. So this is number 3. So I want to be able to do the number 4 at some point. So
I seen a snippet of the video for Resume. I thought that was very creative. I said, wow, I've never seen, you know, an independent artist go that far. You know what I mean? That's usually mainstream level. So that was dope.
Yeah, I like, so I guess back to your question on like goals, right? And my original goal before I said I'm gonna get like a certain level of fame was like, yo, I want to be able to say, if I ever stop doing this, I was able to do this at a level. Like, I want to be able to say that I was able to do this at a professional level, regardless of whether or not I was signed to a major label or not. You know, and so, and you know, I've always had a pretty good job, so I would always just, you know, put it into the budget. I would have the right people mixing. You know, like, yeah, I made my own beats and I write my own stuff, but you know, it's better to have people mixing it for you who are better at you than you at certain things. And so I had guys who were really good at mixing and mastering and so forth. And so yeah, so I've done 3 and over the last 10 years, and it's like, you know, every time I'm, you know, put into the budget, we're gonna make it look at. I want there to be I want my work to be indistinguishable from a professional artist. So if on the off chance somebody were to stumble on my page, that they can go, oh, this looks solid. Or even 10 years from now, like, oh, you look like you actually did it for real. And it's like, yes, I did it for real. You know what I mean? I'm my own label to some degree, you know? So that's always been the sense of personal pride, to make sure it looks for real, you know?
Yeah, you're definitely doing your thing. I was impressed. When I seen your page, I'm like, whoa, that's dope. That's dope, for real. That video, and I only seen a little snippet, and I was amazed, like, whoa. Yeah.
That yeah, like if you I can see some of the 2 other videos. Like, yeah, we I mean, I must have been lucky to find well, the first 2 were one director. The new one, this new video is a new director that I got. But yeah, I've been able to find good talent, you know, within Philadelphia, and you know, they're expensive. they're definitely expensive, but I mean, you know, they're not out of reach for most people if you you know, if you put your mind to getting it, you know what I mean? Like, so, you know, if you have a decent job, you know, you're making music, you know, you can, making it look a certain way is definitely very possible, you know what I mean? So it's not out of the question. So that's kind of been my whole MO.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, you know, I know that's a big problem for a lot of independent artists, not being able, or just not, you know, initially investing in their career, as, you know, financially. A lot of people feel like things should be given for free, or because we're independent artists, let's just, you know what I mean? It's just like what you pay the producer, you pay the studio engineer, you know. I just feel like everyone that's an independent artist should be investing in their career. You know what I mean? Right. Especially when you want something back. So.
Right. And the thing is too, especially nowadays, you don't have to, you can get cheaper beats, like to work on in as far as getting your style together and figuring out what you want to do. But once you get the single that you want, you know, you don't have to put money into the entire project. You can put that money into the one single, get it, pay for that beat, get that beat mixed and the vocals mixed, and then pay for a decent video. You know, and just put all the marketing. I mean, and put money into that piece of it. And you don't even have to put the money that I'm putting into behind the video. That's more of a personal thing. You could have a lower budget video that's just edited really well. Like, there's nothing wrong with that either. It's just as long as it, like, for example, you have 7-Eleven by Beyonce, that song. I mean, that video was shot in a hotel room. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, it had a good camera, but like, you can do things like that where you can kind of get it can be cheaper equipment, just more creative. You know what I mean? Like, but you can put most of your like money behind a single as opposed to an entire project. You know, because right now, I mean, that's kind of what the game is: the singles. You know, singles and streaming, right? So put the focus behind that. You know, so that's my little word of advice.
Okay. So, earlier you mentioned how, you know, that you like being able to do all these things without even being signed. What do you think about being signed to a major label?
Oh, I love take me right now. Because the thing is, they have access, they have connections, there's a machine behind it, right? So like, all these people who are major labels, and then who are signed to major labels, and then they have to go independent because their deals ended or they got dropped. Yeah. There's a reason why these millionaires' careers don't flourish as much. Very rarely will you get a person like, I'm dating myself, but like a let's say Jim Jones at the time. So I can't think of anybody more recent, but like who put out a single independently and it did major numbers. You know what I mean? Like that rarely happens, right? Because most people when they get dropped or when they go indie, their career isn't the same. That's because it's like, the machine is behind them on the majors. I mean, we still live in an era where the majors are still going to give you the biggest exposure, right? Yeah. So I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Like if I mean, assuming I'm not signing my life away and I'm not going to be shelved and locked away and I can't do anything. Like assuming that the deal was right and assuming that I would be able to put something out. Yeah, no, sign me all day. Take the music, put it out there. Because I mean, I think artists get a little too precious about their music, and it's like, you'll always make more. You will always make better. You know what I mean? Yeah. All these rock stars in they're 80 years old still making new stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, if you can get a decent deal, no, sign with them and be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, okay. Have you ever considered starting your own record label? Or you just like, I just want the majors?
I considered it. I probably wouldn't, just because I'm in, because producing and making beats and trying to work with artists on that level is already frustrating enough. Yeah. And you have to find someone who's equally as committed, and that rarely happens. And if they are committed, there's a lot of egos in play, which is also very frustrating. So it's like, I'm not really here for one of the reasons why I always stopped and started on projects, I'm like, I found someone who's also an artist. Well, I'll just produce for them, maybe they're hungry enough, I'll put my own stuff on hold, and so if I'm putting my life on hold to work with the artist, I need someone who's gonna have a lot of drive, who's also gonna be pretty cool about things. It's kind of hard to find that balance. Yeah. And then also too, I'm also not the best businessman per se. Like I'm an artist. I'm probably not best suited for. I would probably be better suited for like a operations kind of a role. Like maybe I would start it up, but I'd be like on the operations bit. Like I would probably put my wife as the CEO before I would do it, because you need somebody who's a bit more, a less emotionally tied to music to kind of run things. So that's probably why I wouldn't do it, but we'll see. Maybe it'll change in this year or so. We'll see.
Yeah, you never know. Things is getting better for independent artists, independent labels. A lot of the mainstream artists are going there, so you never know.
Yeah, right. So it's definitely the point where if you're going to go indie, it is the best time right now to go indie as opposed to any other point in time in history. So if I were to sign indie, I would have no problem signing to a big indie label, just because there's still a lot of opportunity out there. And on top of that too, it's me and COVID season, ain't like people touring, you know what I mean? You can pretty much online, nowadays. So,
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So what do you think of the Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez situation?
Yo. So mad. Don't get me started, yo. Right now. No, because I mean, I get why she didn't initially report it, which is commendable on her part, because she's looking at it as she doesn't want him to get killed. But I'm like, yo, throw that man in jail. What are you doing? Like, you shot her? Yeah. Like I think the problem is, part of the problem is that I don't understand why a lot of these dudes are still hanging around certain crowds when they get to a certain point. I don't know. I don't understand why a lot of these dudes feel the need to put themselves into a situation that requires them to have a gun, or why they feel the need to put out content that encourages staying strapped all the time, especially when you're famous and you'll never, like you said, I ain't been broke in a minute. Why are you walking around with a gun?
Exactly.
And then why do you feel the need to control somebody when? Because I think how it went was she was walking away, right, and then he out of his car, and so to control her, you had to shoot her. It's like, no, like I'm of two minds. On the one hand, I do hate seeing people go to jail. I think our penal system is way too harsh. You know, if he goes to jail, he'll probably be in there for life. You know, if he was anybody else. However, I'm like, throw your ass in jail. Why are you carrying a gun? And why are you shooting people? You know what I mean? So it's
your bodyguard is in the car. Why do you even need a gun? I don't get that.
It's just, I think, and maybe because I'm a hair older, so it's like I'm on my old man status. But yeah, I'm mostly just like, I'm often disappointed when it's like guys like him. It's like, no, you've made it out. I'm not saying you can't talk about how you came up or the hood, being from the hood, you know, and what you had to do back then, you know. But like, why are you still like rappers are often like, nah, it's just songs, right? And it's like when it comes to like demeaning women and putting their hands on people, but it's like clearly it's not, because you felt like you had to shoot somebody, like just, I guess for me it's kind of like, not only do you not need a gun, right? You didn't have to shoot her, but you shot her because she wasn't doing what you wanted her to do, which is even more troubling to some degree, because like you now have to question every other woman that you've been with. That you, like, oh, how controlling are you? So I'm kind of just spitballing here, but it kind of like it's super aggravating. It's like I find it odd that like that men still have to have this need to control people, which is kind of weird. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, like y'all aren't even dating apparently. Like, and you still shot her.
Yeah, like, because she's walking away. Like, oh my God, how mad are you?
Like your trigger finger is that itchy that you had to her. Like I'm very anti-gun. Like I'm extremely anti like Second Amendment. Second Amendment, right? Yeah, I'm very anti-gun. So that's already like a big trigger. Like why you even have a gun?
Yeah,
and you probably even have it legally at that. You know what I mean? And then you shot her. Like, I'm just so like you're rich, bro. Like you don't even need to even have this gun on you. You were at Kylie Jenner's house. You're not even in the hood. Like,
exactly.
You're in the hills right now. Like, so much about it makes me angry before you even get to shooting her. And then you didn't shoot her once. You shot her twice. Like, you shot her and then didn't even go, you know what? I probably shouldn't have shot her. You shot her in both feet. Like, bro, like, no. Like, that's why I'm kind of like, yo, throw him in jail. Like, I mean, listen, on the other side of this, I'm very European in my mindset when it comes to jail time. Like, I'm for short jail sentences and for rehabilitation. But putting that to the side, like, in a perfect world, put his ass in jail. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? But yeah, my bad. You got me on one. I'm like, bro, like, what the, you know, like, like, what the hell?
Yeah, definitely. I really don't understand it, you know. And then when you think about the fact she said that he was in the back seat, reached out the window to shoot her in the feet. It's like, so you didn't plan on killing her. You just wanted to stop her? Yeah. Like, what? What did you really think was going to happen after shooting her in the feet? You just go about living your life? Like, I don't understand. He just blew up off a quarantine radio this summer. You just ruined it.
Just ruined it. He's like, I ain't been broke in a minute. And it's like, no, you about to be real.
Yo, okay.
I think the other thing too is it's kind of like it reminds me of America's treatment towards women in times like this. Yeah. Even like with the single with WAP, right? Or WAP, however you say it, with Cardi B. It's like everyone has so much smoke for them, and I'm just like, so every other single that we've had here in hip hop, right? Like, that's cool, but but this is the hill. We want to die on this hill right here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay, like, I'm just like, all right, like I don't get I don't get society sometimes, like for real. Like I try to be really careful with what I say, especially like in my music, you know, like I'm really careful about how, even with like Resume, it's a bop, you know what I mean? But like I'm really careful about what even in my song Smart Girl, I say a lot of innuendos, but I'm very careful about how it comes off, you know, because I know, like, because it's like, you know, it can be very antagonistic to women. And just when I see things like this, I'm just kind of like, well, there you go. It's the same. Yeah. It's the same like thing over. So that's why I want that whole thing. Yeah. And mind you, I just had this big rant like about Tory Lanez like not too long, like about a few hours ago. So I'm like, hold on, I'm still on it.
I done reignited the flame.
Yeah, it's just wild to me, man. Like, I don't understand. Like I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what could have been said. Like, yo, did she have a gun on her? Like, what could have been possibly said that would cause you to shoot someone twice in the foot?
And a woman.
Yeah, I just, like, if she attacked you with a knife and a gun, I'd be like, okay, well, I mean, well, shit, you know what I mean? But if it was a dude, it's like, why do you have a gun on? Like, why are you shooting people who, you know, but.
I don't get
it. So confused. People are so crazy. I'm just like, you know, I wanted to say to Tory Lanez, like, yo, who hurt you, Queen? Like, what's good?
Yeah, who hurt you, Queen? I think it's the short guy syndrome. I think that's what it is. What they say, he's 5'2" or something.
Yeah, he's quite short. But I mean, even still, like, it shouldn't have to. Once again, you have been, you know, uniquely fortunate in your life. You know, it's like I always use Jay as an example of somebody that people should strive to. You know, I'm not gonna knock you so much on your content when you're a young boy, but just watching how Jay's evolved, like since Blueprint, you know, like he came out with all the like the young boy stuff, you know, Big Pimp, but then it's like, yo, you know, I've made it. Let me reflect that, you know. Yeah. I can still be authentic. People will resonate with it. And I'm like, Tory, like you once again, you came from Kylie Jenner's house. Like, what? You're hanging out with the Kardashians, bro. Like, calm down. Like, what are you doing, bro? Calm down. Like,
oh man. Yeah, that was a shock to me, you know, because I honestly was shocked seeing the three of them together. It's like, wait, what? How does this doesn't even look right. It doesn't even feel right to see the three of them together. So, I mean, to hear he shot it was just like, oh my, what a mess. It's like you become these big celebrities just to throw it all away. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yo, like, exactly. It's like you just threw it all away. I mean, I'm still shocked that Chris Brown still has a career personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you can't be forgiven. I just feel like there has to be some level of guilt that I don't feel like I've seen really.
No, did you know he went to the club afterwards? After he was released from jail. So it's just like, now that is arrogance, okay? Because there was no apology.
You shot somebody in the foot. I mean, 2 feet and both feet. You know, like, I mean, I guess it's on brand now. I mean, if you're going to shoot somebody twice but I'm just disappointed. Like, I hate, because my whole thing is, I do feel like we need to see more. Like, I want to see you win. You know, I want to see him win. The quarantine radio. Like, I'm just like, yo, he's really doing this thing. I want to see more people who can be role models. You know, and to be successful and to diversify their incomes, and you know, albeit a little ratchet, you know, but like, yo, he's really doing, you know, like, you know, I want to see the black-owned businesses and black artists really be successful. But like this kind of stuff, it's like, no, all you're doing is playing into the bad rapper stereotype. You're giving Fox News a bunch of ammunition, and you do nothing to help move the culture forward. You know, you're keeping it stagnant. You're keeping it in the same place. You know, and so that's kind of my whole issue with him. Outside of just why the fuck do you have a gun?
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, I don't even understand. Like, you're in Beverly Hills. What a gun in Beverly Hills. Like, who, like.
What's a bodyguard? That is the part I don't understand. You have a bodyguard. There should be no reason why you even know what the gun feels like.
Right, exactly. With the bodyguard. Like, if I'm the bodyguard, I'm like, yo, I might get shot. Like, come on. Yeah, like, I just, Lord have mercy. And then it's like, if they took her to the emergency room, if you know anything about emergency rooms, it's like, I'm pretty sure that they report any gunshot wound. It's automatic. Any gunshot wound or injury, it's automatically reported to the police, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not like you were gonna get away with this. So like, why did you go to the club? You know? Yeah, I mean, if anything, he should go to jail for like, if it had it my way, he should go to jail for like 2 years. Just 2 years. I'm highly against life sentences for most things, and I think every sentence is way too long in America compared to like all the European countries. But a good year and a half, 2 years, learn his lesson. You don't shoot people like that. It ain't long, and he'll learn his lesson. Like, you know what I mean? That's just ridiculous. You know, I'm just shooting people out. Oh my God, it's wild, yo. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, so look, this is this thing I'm trying to do, okay? I'm gonna call it the hip-hop trivia. At the end of each interview, I'm gonna do a trivia, okay? I'm gonna give you 5 questions.
I'm not to embarrass myself.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 5 questions, and let's see if you can answer them. Okay, question number 1. Who was Calvin Brodus?
Oh, Snoop Dogg.
Yep, okay. Who are the 3 members of Destiny Child?
3? I mean, Michelle. I mean, that's a loaded question. It's like 25 members, but Beyonce, Kelly,
the ones that matter. It's like, no.
Kind of matters, you know. She had a career after.
Yeah. Which rapper has his own video game?
Has his own video game. I'm gonna say. Would it be Logic, maybe?
Nope.
His own video game? Who?
And I'm not talking about Soulja Boy. 50 Cent.
Oh. You know what? I think that's correct. I think that's true. He does have his own. I forgot all about that. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Okay, so which country was French Montana born in?
Morocco, I think.
Yeah. See, look, you all scared and you know most of the answers. Okay, which rapper was the judge in the movie Juice at the rap battle?
Oh God, I don't know. There's an ongoing joke with my friends that I have a real strict like upbringing. So like my black movie trivia game is off. I saw all the TV shows, but the movies, my parents were like, no, it's rated R. I have missed everything. Like my black movie trivia begins at Love and Basketball for the most part.
I love that movie though, so that's cool.
I don't know. I'm gonna say KRS-One maybe.
Queen Latifah.
Oh damn! Oh, see, oh Lord.
Okay, look, you have to watch that movie by this weekend. You gonna have to sit down.
Black card gone.
You gonna have to sit down and watch that movie. That's a good one. Definitely. But thank you so much for doing this interview. You are so awesome.
Thank you. You're awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. No problem. I cannot wait. We need to come back and do another one.
Let me see your resume. If I make an offer, maybe you could start today. Me and you together, got your bank on auto pay. You can come in late, I can match your salary, and now I got you paid. I negotiate. If you win, we win, you know we gotta celebrate. I don't talk a lot, know I'm loaded. You want money, money, we don't even show it. Listen, look at the stocks up and down, I rebound, me and you, we on the town, I'm a king, give me the crown, they bow down, You a queen, dripping it down, they be drowned, You got history, don't mean shit to me. Black is beautiful, even fiscally. All we doing this, me and you together, kinda luminous. If you turn me down, then that be ludicrous. Yeah, let me see your resume. Oh, oh, oh. Maybe you can start today. I start today. You can maybe get you paid. I get you paid. Baby, you was worth the wait. Hey, yeah, let me see your resume. Oh, oh, oh. Maybe you can start today. I start today. You can maybe get you paid. I get you paid. Baby, you was worth the wait. Hey, yeah. Let me take you to your office space. If you make it here by 9 tomorrow, that'd be great. If you got a couple references, then bring them over. And your benefits already if you're rolling over. I don't make the rules, I don't play to lose. If you wanna join the team, you gotta prove. I'ma take you out for drinks and then we smoke. You know we don't test for drugs, girl, we woke. Tell no soul, baby, play your role. You know we signed the NDA when you get on the board. If you wanna work with me, then you will not get bored. If you wanna ride with me, then baby, all aboard. Send a cover letter, I don't do it undercovers ever. You might interview at other places, I am better. If you currently employed, then let me help you sever. I can make it easy for you, let me pull the lever. Yeah, let me see your resume. Oh, oh, oh. Maybe you can start today. I start today. You can maybe get you paid. I get you paid. Baby, you was worth the wait. Hey, yeah, let me see your resume. Oh, oh, oh. Maybe you can start today. I start today. You can maybe get you paid. I get you paid. Baby, you was worth the wait. Hey, resume. Start today.
Thanks for showing love and support to Powerful Indie. If you enjoyed today's show, click like and subscribe to your girl. I have more dope interviews and talent coming through, and I hate for you to miss it.